How's it going, YouTube? My third day here in the Philippines. I'm here in Cebu IT Park. This kind of a business park, business, restaurants, condos. It's kind of all around. You can kind of people watch, you can eat and get a drink. Seems to be kind of one of the main areas, one of the main hubs to hang out here in this area. So basically, yesterday was interesting. I had an interesting time. And it kind of puts a how can I put it? It gives me a good impression of the Philippines. Yesterday, me and my tour guide went to a very tasty restaurant in the Philippines. Here in Cebu. It's called Farouche. A restaurant called Farouche, and they have like the best grilled chicken. I mean, guys, you gotta go to Farouche. So they have the best grilled chicken you can get. Farouche, Cebu. Anyway, took the Grab, caught a Grab there. On the way back to the condo from the restaurant, my wallet fell out of my pocket. Now, mind you, I had, and I know this might not be the smartest thing to do, but I probably had $300 in my wallet in fives and ones, in some in cash, and in dollars, and in Philippine pesos. Not to mention, I had my work ID, my California ID, all my credit cards. So when I got up to the condo, I have the little tracker on my wallet and my phone and stuff, and so it notified me that, hey, your wallet's nowhere to be found. Your wallet's on a whole nother street. So I'm like, oh my God, I left my wallet in the Uber. They call it Grab here. It's not called Uber. It's called Grab. I left my wallet in the Grab. Well, for understanding purposes, in the Uber. So luckily, the guy driving the Uber, the Grab, during the conversation on the way back to the condo, he was saying how he does tours. We could hire him on the side. So he gave me his card. So luckily I had his contact information. So, I filed a report with Grab, the company, and I contacted him directly, see if he would be kind enough to bring me my wallet back. He brought it back, guys. And I don't know. I'm sure they would have did it in America too, maybe, I don't know, man. And this is not the first time. I was here before, and I left my iPhone in the back of Grab, and I didn't even know I'd left it. And they, I had a knock on my condo door, and the concierge had got my phone from the Grab, from the Uber driver, and brought it up to my apartment. So, I don't know. I know that's an anecdotal story that may not mean much, but the honesty of the Philippine people that I've witnessed so far has been really great, guys. That's not to say you should leave your wallet hanging around, or you don't guard your stuff. You should, just as you would anywhere. But I've been really impressed, and of course I'm gonna try to be extra careful from now on, but I've been really impressed with the honesty of the Philippine people, man. I really have to say that, for the most part. I had a jailing incident my last trip here that, was a little questionable. But overall, especially here in Cebu, that incident happened in Manila. But here in Cebu, it's just been wonderful in terms of the honesty and just integrity of the Philippine people. I have nothing but compliments on that so far. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to give you that anecdotal story. I'm gonna go look for a SIM card so I can actually communicate with people and not have to be landlocked to a Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or at the condo. So, all right, guys. Third day in Cebu, Philippines. How's it going, YouTube? I'm here at the mall. The mall's called Center Block, and here in Cebu. And I just ordered a little light lunch. Let me show you. So that's the lunch I just ordered. It's a little bit of lechon, rice, soup, you know, some cabbage. Not a whole lot, but this was 110 pesos, which was $1.99. So you technically, if you're not a huge eater, which I am, so that really doesn't apply, but if you're not a huge eater, you could technically you know, have a meal for $1.99. Now, granted, we can in America too. There's the dollar menu, but it's not going to be, you know, balanced. So, I want to discuss choosing signals. Let me break this thing down. So, here in the Philippines, well, you know what? Let me just speak on what I've noticed here in Cebu so far. You know, we hear the word choosing signals thrown around a lot, or the words choosing signals, and you do get choosing signals here. I've noticed that, I would say, on average, and by choosing signals, I guess we could say the obvious hints that someone's interested. The smiles, the nods, you know, the double takes, the winks, whatever. All that would fall under the definition of choosing signals. I would say so far I've noticed probably double the amount I would have in the United States. I don't want to give the impression that people are going to treat you like the Beatles here. They're not. You're not Michael Jackson. And I also want to make it clear, whatever your problems were when you were in the United States, they're here too. So if you're ugly in the United States, you're ugly here. If you're fat in the United States, you're fat here. You know. If you're basic in the United States, you're basic here. I'm a very regular schmegler dude, which is why I call my show the Basic Bro Travel Show. Yet, you know, like I said, I do get double what I would consider the choosing signals, but everything still applies. If you were a weirdo in the United States, then you're a weirdo here too, so on and so forth. The difference is you are a weirdo plastic surgeon. You are a fat plastic surgeon instead of a fat mailman in the United States. What I mean by that is your income increases to the point where you make the same amount or more as a doctor would here, if you make even $3,500 a month. So basically, when you come to the Philippines, you have all the problems you have at home, except you're having those problems as a doctor. So that's basically the difference. So that is what gives you the edge here. I'm guessing in Thailand, I've never been there, but certainly in Colombia is, you know, your money and status, it just elevates you the way it would anywhere. The same way it does in the United States. Let's face it, we all know and have seen some ugly doctors in the United States, yet how many doctors do we know that are not married or that couldn't get married whenever they wanted to? You know what I mean? So women respond to successful men in the United States the same way. So the only difference here is I feel like women overseas respond more to successful men than American women do. With the feminist movement and the love a thug movement, women aren't quite as fascinated with, or they don't put quite the same importance on a man's career path as women overseas do, as they do overseas, which to me is a bad thing. I want to be recognized for, my career success. So, but anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so you do receive more choosing signals than you would elsewhere at home, but everything that you are in the United States still applies. If you're ugly there, you're ugly here, but you're ugly as a doctor. Now, I want to give one little caveat to that. With white guys, I've noticed there is a certain physical advantage to white men, meaning they literally think you look better. Like, you actually get beauty points for being white. So in that sense, I can say an ugly white man in the United States is cuter to the women in the Philippines than he would be in the United States. So yeah, your physical attraction does go up a couple of notches if you're white. So I cannot deny that. So for you white lads that might be watching the show, that is good news. Having said that, if you look like Captain Kangaroo, you don't all of a sudden look like Brad Pitt just because you come to the Philippines. So you should still be, trying to get yourself together. So, how's it going, YouTube? I'm about to head over to the Cebu, what's this place called? The IT Park for their little nighttime soiree. They do almost every night. They have kind of like a food stands and karaoke and whatnot, and so I'm gonna go check that out, record it, see what we see, maybe grab a drink. I'm gonna have to video in I don't know, vertical, just to look like I'm not filming as much. I look like I'm just talking in my phone. But as you can see, this is the kind of the setup. So kind of smorgasbord. I think they have the singer right there, but might be karaoke later on. I don't know. But yeah, just people out eating, drinking, doing their thing. So this is called the Sugbo Mercado, which I think Sugbo is another way of saying Cebu, but I could be wrong with that. And Mercado, of course, is market. Got a lot of food here, guys. I need to go to a bank. I need to risk going to a bank, grabbing some money. I don't know if they take card. So this is the Sugbo Mercado. Oh, I think I gotta exit this other way. Okay. See, I'm gonna go get some. So a lot of food stands, basically a big, farmers market type of situation. And again, people are so sensitive about being filmed. I didn't want to come out here with a gimbal, and all of that stuff. So I just kind of stay lower on the radar. So let me exit out here and try to go find a bank. So barber right there. So yeah, this is a Cebu IT Park at night. Make it at horizontal now. Oh man, but there are little kids. They approach you, man. They'll approach you like, hey, well, and they speak their language. And so little kids, like 9, like 6 or 7 of them, kind of in a pack, and they'll approach you. That happened. I wasn't able to film it, but so you just kind of push past them, just ignore them, don't engage, and that's where I think the pocketing begins. So anyway, let me try to find a bank, and I'll check back in. All right. There's a place here called Park Social, where I see a lot of American-looking people up in there, and big band going. So I'm gonna go in there, have myself a drink. Go see what the scene is like in there. Again, Park Social, Cebu IT Park. What's up, YouTube? I spent about an hour in the bar. It was cool. Now I'm having, I'm back to the Sugbo Mercado, and some oysters. 190 pesos. That's about, I want to say $4. By the way, I'm gonna do a little breakdown on the meals I had today to get the cost. Not all of them are cheap. Again, I'm not really trying to eat cheap. I want to eat what I want to eat, and hopefully it's cheap. But I want to eat what I want to eat. That comes first and foremost. So anyway, the bar was cool. Scanning the area. Give the guys a little bird's eye view of what's going on. So I had quite a few drinks, man. So I'm a little tipsy, to be quite honest. A little bit of rum and coke. But it was cool, guys. It was cool. For those that want to come here and live, you're gonna have to make your connections just like you do anywhere else, guys. There won't be any shortcuts. You're gonna have to make your connections. But I will say this: if things aren't popping for you in the United States, this is a good place to regenerate things. There are some issues that I've noticed that I will speak about on a later date. Do a little breakdown. But right now, overall, if things aren't popping for you where you're at, I mean, what does it hurt to try something different? You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm having a good time. Van is with her sister right now. They're doing some family stuff. They have so many festivals here, guys. They celebrate everything. So there's always a party. There's always a festival. So now don't come here and expecting to be one of the Beatles, man. It's not going to be that way. Particularly if you're just unfortunate looking or average. It's not going to be that way. It's going to be straight normal. But But like I said, like I told you before, guys, if you have, it's just like being in the United States, man. If you're an ugly plastic surgeon, you're still a plastic surgeon. You know what I mean? So you still have the money and the clout and the fame of a plastic surgeon. Well, that's similar to how you're treated here. You might look how you look, but you're still a rich American, and that carries some weight. Now, a lot of people say that's tricking. Well, to me, tricking is what you do. I mean, if you decide to be a trick, then you're tricking. You know, you don't have to trick. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a trick. You can just be a guy. You could just be known as a guy who has money. You know, you don't have to be a trick. So, as far as being known as someone who has money, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You being a trick is an action word, is a verb. You know what I mean? So, if you don't come here tricking, then you're not a trick. But if you're known as a person who has money because you're an American, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Any more than the doctor is known as someone who has money in America. He's not advertising as someone who has money. But everyone knows doctors have money. So, are they tricking because of their status in life? Happens to be one of wealth? Not necessarily. So, yeah, you know, you come here to the Philippines or Colombia or Brazil, wherever you go, and you're known as a rich man, an American. Now, are there some people looking to prey on you? Of course, like everywhere else. Just like America, there's girls ready to, man, I didn't have my pockets padded, picked so many times, well, not so many times, but several times in the United States by girls that I thought were cool. You know, so you can be a target and a mark everywhere. But in terms of people thinking of you as a trick, I mean, that's kind of up to you if you decide to trick. You don't have to trick, so you can just come to these countries and be known as a rich guy and a rich older man or a rich younger man, or, you know, you might be the fat ugly guy who's rich. Okay, that still helps your cause. It's better being the rich older fat guy than the middle class older ugly fat guy in America, which we already know how far you're gonna go with that title. So anyway, guys, I want to be clear. No, you do not suddenly become John Travolta. You do not suddenly become Justin Timberlake or A$AP Rocky or whatever, whoever is popular right now. But you do become the person that everyone knows is rich, and you can make up your own mind what that means to you. So, all right, guys, signing out for the night, I think, here at Cebu IT Park. This is T Solo coming at you, documenting my second trip to the Philippines. I'm here in Cebu, Philippines IT Park. All right, guys, I don't even really want to do this, but the level of choosing signals that the girl in the black is giving me is so over the top that I feel compelled to address it. I wasn't going to, guys. I really wasn't. At first I thought, you know, maybe it's because I'm, you know, talking on the phone. Looks like I'm filming her, so I put the phone down. The smiling, I mean, they're clearly taking pictures of themselves, which lends me to be able to just say, hey, you want me to photo you? I mean, you guys can clearly see what's happening. So the level of choosing signals is over the top. So, and I'm talking in the phone, so she doesn't, she sees the back of the phone, so she thinks I'm talking on the phone. So it's literally over the top, guys. So I just kind of wanted to give a demonstration of what people are talking about when, obviously Van is going to see this, so I can't, I got to behave myself because I got somebody I'm already talking to, but as you guys can see, it's real, and I'm 54 years old, guys, and I'm super regular, I'm super schmegular, and, as you can see, there's nothing wrong with her, attractive, anybody would feel okay dating her, nothing amiss, nothing wrong. Her feet aren't dirty, and all the nonsense that people say about foreign women, she's clearly good to go. And I'm not even trying, guys, so this is what I'm talking about, guys. It doesn't mean that you're going to be one of the Beatles, but it does mean that it's just easier. It's easier, and whether it's not because you're exotic or they know you're rich, I mean, whatever it is, who cares, and you'll figure it out as time goes on, don't let people know you've got as much money as you do. Let them know you're doing okay, but you're not rich. Keep those expectations low, or keep them reasonable. So anyway, guys, just wanted to give a little giving a little demonstration. So, all right, guys, and you guys know the setup. I'm holding the phone, I'm talking, and it looks like I'm talking to somebody on the phone. There's no way they realize I'm filming them, so there's no excuse. I don't, that just isn't. So, it's not a scalawag. It's not a gremlin. It's not somebody, undateable. It's not somebody who looks like they're from the jungle. She literally has braces on to get her teeth right. I mean, we're talking about somebody cute. So we can't play this game here, guys. It's just how it is. And this is what a lot of people are trying to say without necessarily being able to say it, either because they can't or won't show experiences with experiences they have with women, with choosing signals, girls they meet in an organic way. Now, I met Van. She's not a bar girl. She's a medical field woman. She's not any low status. In fact, I don't even want to go into how high status she and her family are. I'm not going to even go into it right now. But she's not a low caliber girl here. She doesn't need my money. Do I plan on spoiling her like day old milk? Of course I do, because she's hot. But she's not needy, doesn't ask me for anything, and treats me like a pot of gold. This girl here in front of me that's giving me so many choosing signals that all I really have to do is go up and say, hey, what's your number? Can we go out to dinner tomorrow? She's gonna say yes. It's so beyond so easy. They clearly are taking pictures of themselves. All I have to do is say, hey, want me to be your photographer? I'll film for you. I'll take pictures. I'll do what you guys are trying to do for you. The old I'll take pictures of you routine. That's all it takes. I don't know where this girl works. She might be a serial killer. I don't know, but she has on a work uniform. From what I can tell, she's clearly not a bum, and so we can't continue the whole all the women are raggedy. No, they're not. But they recognize the fact that compared to them, you are a person who would be making $200,000-$300,000 in the States. You are damn near close to a millionaire to them in their life if you make $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So, and you can clearly see her friend looking over here and I don't think the lighter skinned friend is interested at all. I'm very honest about what I have going on. Anything I'm doing or anything I have going on. I never lie, guys. I don't lie. I was gonna say I don't lie on my, and you know what I'm talking about. But friends checking over here for her. I know that. I don't think the friend is interested in the least bit, but the darker skinned girl is interested in the utmost. Give you a bird's eye view, let you know what's going on over here, these parts. Choosing signals, real time. All right, now. T Solo signing out. There's some golden girls out here, guys. There's some golden girls out here. And I don't mean old. And I'm not talking about Fran and Fran and them. There's some golden girls out here, guys. I'm not talking about Fran and them. I didn't have one too many rum and cokes, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I've had one too many rum and cokes, but there's some golden girls out here, guys. Like, one of the prettiest women I've ever gone out with is a Filipina in Chino, California. I mean, she's gorgeous. If I thought I could get away with it, I'd show a picture of her. She's immaculate. Filipina, 100% Filipina. So they can be very pretty. Obviously, American Filipinas are probably more polished or whatever you want to have it or whatever you want to call it. But Filipinas can be very pretty. So, I mean, and I'm saying can be because, I've gone to Colombia. I've spent time in Colombia, and obviously the women there are legendarily pretty. So, it's hard to beat a girl who looks like Apollonia. I mean, and I saw several of them while I was in Colombia. So, yeah. But in terms of comparing them damn near anywhere else, Filipinas are real pretty. So, just out and about day, just walking, going, you don't really see it. But when you hit these spots that where they've gotten themselves together and got off shift and got off work and now they're doing their thing, a lot of them are very pretty, guys. It is what it is. And yes, I please forgive me that I don't have my gimbal. Again, I'm trying to be incognito here. I don't want people to know I'm recording, and I don't even have my microphone. So guys, you're just gonna have to bear with me. This breath in the way. But all right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up. It's almost midnight now, so about to wrap it up, guys. About to wrap it up. See if I can get. And keep in mind, it's Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Let me be clear. It's a Wednesday. So I just want to be clear that it's not even a poppin' day of the week. And I'm not in a club. I'm actually in a I'm actually in an eatery. So I'm not even in a club. So let me be clear on that. I'm in an eatery. So let me be clear. All right, guys. Talk to you later.